For the Record is brought to you by Vamped Motors, the only authorized Ford and Toyota dealership serving the Cayman Islands. Coca-Cola, available across the Cayman Islands from Tortuga distributors. Accept no substitutes. Taste the feeling with Coca-Cola. Brand Source Home Gallery, inspiring luxury. Caribbean Bakery, made Cayman fresh. Health City, now open at Camana Bay 7 days a week.
The Ministry of Commerce, Planning and Infrastructure, and by West Bay Pharmacy, taking care of your health.
This is For the Record with Ort Connor.
Coming to you live from Radio Cayman Studio.
For the Record.
For the Record. For the Record. Hear from your government officials, independents, and the opposition on issues that matter to you.
For the Record.
Engage in an open dialogue between residents and lawmakers.
For the Record.
For the Record. For the Record.
Informative, impartial, insightful.
This is your talk show.
1-800-534-8255. Your calls, your input. This is For the Record. And now, your host, Ort Connor.
Good morning, good morning, good morning, O land of soft, fresh breezes and verdant trees, so fair. Today is the 26th day of July, 2021. I hope and I trust that everyone had a restful, peaceful, enjoyable weekend. Those of you who are on the roads of the Cayman Islands, again, we urge you to please be extremely cautious. Ensure that you observe the rules of the road, whether you're a pedestrian, a cyclist, or operating any type of motorized vehicle. If you observe the rules of the road, then the chance of you saving your own life is much, much greater if you observe the rules of the road. For those of you who's celebrating a birthday today, we want to wish you a happy birthday. Or if you're celebrating one over the weekend, we want to wish you a belated happy birthday as well. And one particular belated happy birthday will go out to Miss Verna Hazel Valley. And she's 97 years old. Yesterday, she was 97 years old. And for those of you who don't recognize the name, if you know Miss Phyllis Smoxham, some of you, if you visit a particular liquor store, can't give them a free advert on the radio this morning, but Miss Phyllis Moxham, she's a present and the face of that particular liquor store. And that's her mother as well, 97 years of age. So we want to wish her a belated happy birthday as well. For those of you who have lost loved ones, we want to extend our sincere condolences to you. We hope and we trust that your faith will help to carry you through these very challenging times, and that the memories of your loved ones will be a blessing as well. And we want to give a special acknowledgement to the family of the late Mr. Wesley Howell, who passed away on Friday as well, 106 years old. He's been a pillar of strength in the Cayman Islands, a man who displayed impeccable character. Couldn't find a nicer person in the world than Mr. Howell. So special condolences go out to his family as well. For those of you who are not feeling well, whether you're at home or at a medical facility, we want to wish you a speedy recovery as well. So, folks, I want to thank you for allowing Radio Cayman and, by extension, For the Record into your homes, into your vehicles, as you traverse the busy roads of the Cayman Islands, into your places of work, wherever that may be. As you know, For the Record is a show produced by the staff and management of Radio Cayman, and it is geared towards keeping you abreast of issues as they arise and play out on the local, regional, and international scene. I am your host, Ort Connor, and you're welcome to join me every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday from 7:30 a.m. During that period, our phone lines are open, and we have back in the control room that beautiful radio voice of Miss Susan Watson. You can call us on our toll-free number provided courtesy of Flo. That toll-free number, 1-800-534-8255. You can also Call us on 949-8037 and 949-6990. Email us at for the record, one word, for the record at candw.ky. WhatsApp us 925-3261, where you can send us a text message or leave us a voice note, the contents of which will be played during the course of the show. And of course, you can follow us on YouTube simply by subscribing to Radio Cayman live stream. I'm going to ask you to hold off on those calls for a while. I do have a very important guest in the studio with me this morning, and before I introduce my guest, I will share with you the latest update that we have in relation to COVID-19. And on Friday, the 23rd of July, the Chief Medical Officer, Dr. John Lee, reported that 487 COVID-19 tests have been carried out since this was last reported on Thursday, the 22nd of July, 2021. There were 4 positive test results in travelers. And, of course, we have figures in relation to the fact that there have been 96,518 COVID-19 vaccinations given in total in the Cayman Islands. Of those, over 49,000, which represents 70% of the estimated population of 71,106, have had at least one dose of a COVID-19 vaccine, and over 47,000, which represents 66%, completed the 2-dose course as well. In addition to that, we want to continue to encourage everyone to be vaccinated, and to help in that endeavor, something that we know the people of the Cayman Islands, voters and everyone else have been talking about, cooperation between the government and the opposition. And I know some of you don't even like to use the word opposition, but we're seeing more and more of that as the vaccine, we go about urging people to get vaccinated as well. So one of the headlines in our local newspapers was that the premier and the leader of the opposition delivered a unified message on vaccine, and we are certain that that will go a long way in terms of encouraging persons to get vaccinated as well. But who better to speak about that than our Premier, the Honorable Wayne Panton, and it is my pleasure to have him in the studio with me this morning. Premier, good morning, sir. Welcome back to For the Record.
Good morning, sir. And let me say what a pleasure it is to be here with you again. And if I can borrow the moniker that has been given to you by our good friend, Mr. McField.
Yes.
Good morning, Mr. For the Record.
Thank you, sir. Good morning.
And let me say good morning to all the wonderful people of the Cayman Islands, our beautiful homeland.
Okay, now we know that you're here to talk specifically about something, but of course, COVID-19 is very important, as well. And of course, when we get you in the studio, we try to cover as many bases as we can. Sir. So let's talk first about the unity between the government and the opposition, and in particular you and the leader of the opposition in encouraging people to get vaccinated.
Yes. Yeah, I was very happy to have my friend Mr. McTaggart come and join me for a conversation on Friday. Mm-hmm. Which, of course, we did a video of. And I know full well that the opposition in general, I don't know what else we can call them. The other side doesn't sound right either.
Government in waiting or what?
The east side of Parliament, yes, I don't know. But, I know full well what their view is in terms of supporting this. Mr. McTaggart is an absolute gentleman, if nothing, typically, and he absolutely agreed to do that. And I wanted to demonstrate to the country that, from a parliamentary perspective, from a political perspective, there is no distinction between us in terms of our support for vaccination, the need for vaccination in the country. The previous government were very successful in their approach with COVID and managing the whole lockdown process, and that wasn't an easy process by any means. It took some guts to make that decision to go ahead and do that. And I know that certainly at the time there was a lot of medical advice being given to them to support that. But nevertheless, it took a level of determination to decide you're going to do this. And of course, we were, the people of the country cooperated, and we were successful in effectively eliminating or burning out the local transmission. But we'll see, as anybody who thinks about these things will understand, that the minute we start trying to reopen our borders, we are going to have local transmission again. It is going to happen, and it may start happening within weeks of us doing this. This is why it's so critical to us to make sure that we get as many of our people vaccinated as possible. And let's look at some of the details around the vaccine. Is it going to stop infection? No, but it significantly reduces it. Is it going to stop people from being able to, once they're infected, being able to transmit it to other people? No, but it significantly, again, reduces infection or contagion. But we also have this new Delta variant, which is multiple levels above, the ordinary variants in the original sort of Alpha variant that makes it way more infectious. So, the vaccine has been demonstrated to work against it, but not as well as it does in the original sort of version of SARS-CoV-2. So, we have this challenge. This variant has now spread across the United States in a period of about a month. It went from like 5% to 85%, and it has already done the same pretty much within the UK. And we've seen what's been happening over the last couple of weeks. The numbers have been trending in the wrong direction. We've got the chief medical advisor in the U.S. warning that the U.S. is going in the wrong direction. We know that the UK is also going in the wrong direction, and they've just announced their Freedom Day.
Yes.
And they've there's loads of coverage of young people in particular, not just young people though. People feeling, look, this is something to celebrate, and they're all out without masks. They're in nightclubs, they're in pubs and restaurants, and it's just not going to have a good outcome.
Yep.
It's just not. So that puts an added pressure in our context as well, because we need to be looking at what's happening outside Cayman. We've got this little well-controlled bubble here, and once we start opening the valves up, what's going on outside is very relevant, and that's what we're going to be facing. And our major tool is the vaccine. So the worse things look outside, to me, the greater the need for us to try to get vaccinated, so that our people can have the best possible protection, and not get very sick and not face the prospect of losing their life.
Okay, Premier, we're going to take a commercial break. When we return, I know that you, in your debate, have spoken about the fact that when before the elections, you were lobbied by so many people to get the government to open up. Now you're on the other side of the fence, and you understand the pressures that are being put on by the other politicians now in that regard. And I want you to talk about how we go about addressing that issue and strategies moving forward in terms of getting to that 80% vaccinated in our population that we
Right.
need to have as well. So, folks, please stay tuned. We're going to take a commercial break. When we return, conversation with the Honorable Wayne Panton, Premier of the Cayman Islands, will continue, so don't change that dial.
The Cayman Islands boasts of a long, colorful, and rich history. In tribute to our roots, Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands, is pleased to bring you the Historical Vignette Series, brought to you by Rotary Central. For more than 110 years, Rotary members have used their passion, energy, and intelligence to take action on sustainable projects. The Cayman Islands, he hath founded it upon the seas.
A number of Northside areas were noted on the 1773 George Gall map, including Mr. Porter's Point, Rum Point, Watering Place, Watering Point, Frank Sound, Arnold's Sandy Point, and Calipatch Point. Used in the early days for cultivation, the district of Northside was one of the last areas to be settled, with the 1773 Gall map showing a small settlement at Arnold's Sandy Point.
Radio Cayman's Historical Vignettes was brought to you by Rotary Central. For more than 110 years, Rotary members have used their passion, energy, and intelligence to take action on sustainable projects.
Ladies and gentlemen, start your engines. A truly exciting event is just around the corner. 4 hours of Rotary Central Gumball Car Rally excitement. Saturday, August 21st, noon until 4 p.m. Prizes around Gumball Rally car preparation, rally spirit, rally event notes, rally accuracy. Answer the questions and find the Rotary Central Gumball Rally finish line. The Rotary Central Gumball Car Rally, a fun event, not a race event. Register with only $100 per entry, up to 4 persons per rally car. The first ever Rotary Central Gumball Car Rally event. Register now at Rotary Central Facebook page or call 936-1344. Every Gumball Rally dollar will serve Rotary Central mental health projects. Rotary Central. Serve to change lives.
Did you know that defective airbags can cause serious injury or even death if not repaired immediately? Right now, millions of vehicles around the world are under recall for faulty Takata airbags, and yours could be one of them. At Vamt Motors, our priority is to make sure the Toyota or Ford you drive is safe. So we are offering customers a free, fast, and easy airbag swap out if your vehicle was manufactured in 2016 or earlier. Find out if you need to have new airbags installed by emailing your Ford or Toyota vehicle's VIN or vehicle identification number to service@vampmotors.com or stop by Vamp's Service Center or call us at 949-2245. Don't risk it. Get the airbags in your Toyota or Ford checked for free at Vamp Motors on Walkers Road.
West Bay, home to Barkas National Park, the touristy flair, a family community, a political powerhouse. From sports enthusiasts to car aficionados, affection for silver thatch rope. No matter how far you may venture, West Bay will always be where the heart is. Home will always be in West Bay. West Bay Pharmacy, caring for your home and your family. West Bay Pharmacy in Centennial Towers. Convenient, quality care is just around the corner.
What's that? No sugar, same amazing taste? Coca-Cola Zero Sugar is here to stay. Classic taste, pure satisfaction. Be sure to stop into any Tortuga location and get your own case of Coke Zero. Or grab an ice-cold one straight from the cooler. Brought to you by Tortuga Distributors Limited. Coca-Cola, taste the feeling, Cayman.
Health City is now open at Camana Bay, offering a wide range of specialties at our state-of-the-art Camana Bay Clinic. We are here to help you save time and feel better. We are open weekdays, weekends, and evenings for your convenience and are dedicated to reducing your wait time while improving your health. Friendly staff, expert care, lab services, and diagnostics in one convenient location from the hospital you know and trust. Health City at Camana Bay, within your reach.
Make your house into a home Welcome to Brand Source Home Gallery, your source for premium products and a premium experience. We'll design and install your dream kitchen with crafted cabinets, complemented with elegant appliances. We'll fill it with quality houseware and cookware. Custom designed closet and storage solutions organize and beautify any area. And with the finest bedding, you'll get a perfect night's sleep knowing Brand Source Home Gallery has everything you need to make your house a home.
Tune in to Radio Cayman CI Retro Talk Today's presentation on Friday, July the 30th at 12:15 p.m. for the story of one of the Cayman Islands' most mysterious maritime tragedies, the disappearance of the modern motor ship, the New Nokel, 85 years ago this month, on a voyage from Grand Cayman to Tampa, Florida, with 22 souls, people on board, never to be seen or heard from since. Being brought to you by Cayman Coating, Cayman's leading supplier of quality paints and exterior wall finishes. Cayman Coating, 949-2920 at 96 Portland Road, Airport Industrial Park. The New Nokel's story.
System 1 loaded.
1-800-534-8255. What is on your mind when it comes to the government, independence, and the opposition? Issues that matter to you. 1-800-534-8255. Waiting to hear from you. For the Record.
This is For the Record with Ort Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. It is my pleasure to have in the studio with me this morning Premier of the Cayman Islands, Honorable Wayne Pant, and we're talking about COVID-19 situation in the Cayman Islands. And the Premier has had an opportunity to see the public pressure from both perspectives now, as well. So you understand to a certain extent what those on the other side of the aisle, if you don't want to call them the opposition, those on the other side of the aisle are going through at this point in time, bearing in mind that a lot of the policies that are in place now, they were the authors of those policies.
Yeah, I mean, the original, the basis of where we're at certainly was initiated by them. And our challenge now is to move forward and to successfully reopen and restart our tourism industry in the safest way possible, to not throw away everything that we have achieved in Cayman. And I mean, I certainly understand the challenge of that. I understand it from a business side and a business perspective. I understand it from the individuals who are suffering because they haven't had employment, they haven't had a steady income. They've been relying on support from government. And obviously I understand it from the political perspective and on the other side, the position the other side now find themselves in, where they feel like, they have to advocate for sort of pushing forward with a reopening proposal, and they're facing a lot of pressure, as is the government. But our determination is to do this as safely as we can, as successfully as we can. It makes no sense for us to do what other territories have done, and fail at doing that, and then having to sort of start locking down again because we have rampant transmission locally and people are ending up in hospital. So believe me, the challenges are there, and I understand what they face, and certainly they understand what we're facing as well. And as I said before, when I was just an unelected ordinary person who happened to have had a relationship with the previous government, from a party perspective, I was getting a lot of calls saying, you need to put pressure on them to reopen or to not lock down and all this sort of stuff. And my position then was, no, I think they're doing the right thing, and I'm going to support them. And I was surprised at the number of people and the demographics of the people that were doing that. Some people who were, in somewhat elderly business people who were saying, this can't happen. We've got to stop this. And I'm looking at them thinking, you are going to be very vulnerable to this. And I don't understand why you think that you can. I don't care how much money you have. We all breathe the same air, right? You can only be successful so much in avoiding infection. And that has played out around the world, right? I mean, we've had loads of world leaders that have been infected.
Yes.
And it's only then it's a gamble. Am I going to get really sick and end up in hospital and possibly lose my life? I don't want that for any of our people. And it is, the decision to take certain actions. You have to weigh up all the possible consequences, the pros and cons, and it is not something as a leader of government or the government as a whole that you want to take lightly at all. Yeah.
I noticed that it seemed as if especially in the Caribbean, most hotel and tourism associations seem to be getting it now and understanding exactly what the situation is and what needs to be done. And they seem to be encouraging governments to push for the vaccination.
Yes.
For the vaccination. And I think that's making a whole lot of sense now, rather than just simply talking about we need to reopen, we need to get back to business. They're now taking the logical position in relation to it.
Yeah, I think they understand that they've got to be a part of the solution. And it's not just the medical side, it's also making sure that that people are supported and people get opportunities for employment and including those that may need to transition into other areas where opportunities exist. But yes, they understand that the vaccine is the best way forward for us. And I think we're going to have some further conversations this week with our local stakeholders, and I hope that we can have a conversation which is around them continuing to support the government in their approach in terms of getting as much of the vaccine distributed as possible, because that is really, we know we have a small portion of the population which really isn't medically eligible. We also have children that are under 12 that are not able to get the vaccine at this point. And these are all people that we have to protect. Their only protection is us, is making sure that we take this seriously, and those of us who can get vaccinated do get vaccinated, so that the chances of us getting infected is lower, the chances of us transmitting it is lower, and therefore the risk to them is reduced. Are we going to eliminate the risk? No, we're not. The vaccine is not a cure, but it is the best tool we have right now.
Right, the only defense that we have.
Yeah.
Okay, we've reached the top of the hour, 8 o'clock news. When we return, the conversation with Premier Honorable Wayne Panton will continue. So please stay tuned, and don't worry, at some point in time we will open up the phone lines for you to converse with the Premier as well. So please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back immediately after the 8 o'clock news.
Thank you, Mr. O'Connor. And studio time by Price Right is 7:59.
It's getting hot.
I'd even say it's sizzling.
You're right. It's a sizzling summer. And Priced Right is giving you the chance to win big throughout July and August.
That's right. We've got the best summer products in store. And by just purchasing any specially marked sizzling summer product, you have the chance to win one of 3 $200 Priced Right gift cards.
Promotion only valid at Priced Right at the Airport Center. For more info, go to pricedright.ky. Live better for less this summer at Priced Right.
The voice of the Cayman Islands.
89.9 FM in Grand Cayman and 93.9 FM in Cayman Brac and Little Cayman.
Silver wings shining in in the sunlight.
Radio Cayman.
The 8 a.m. news is proudly sponsored by the Chamber of Commerce Pension Plan. For further information, please visit chamberpension.ky. The Cayman Islands Chamber of Commerce Pension Plan. We are here for you. Please be advised that the pension contribution holiday has been extended until 31st of December 2021. Employers and plan members should ensure arrangements are in place for salary deductions and remittance following this date. The Cayman Islands Chamber of Commerce Pension Plan, keeping you informed. For further information, visit chamberpension.ky. And for information as it happens, follow us on Facebook, LinkedIn, or Instagram. Email admin@pensions.ky or call 745-7630. We're here for you.
For today's biggest news.
Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Island.
Good morning with a look at Radio Cayman's 8 o'clock morning news. I'm Dion Anglin. While the borders are still closed to all but essential travel, tourism officials are taking the opportunity to provide training in a variety of areas. You can find out more at aquila.ourcayman.ky. In other local news, it's a virtual meet and greet for speakers of the United Kingdom overseas territories. Here's Radio Cayman's Shanda Gallego with more.
Speaker of Parliament Honourable Mikiva Bush and Deputy Speaker Honourable Catherine Ebanks-Wilkes attended a virtual meeting recently where they interacted with speakers of other UK overseas territories. Called and chaired by the UK House of Commons Speaker Sir Lindsay Hoyle, the first ever meet and greet event was also the venue to discuss the first OT's Speakers Conference planned by the UK Speaker for 2022, as well as other future collaborative endeavours. The conference focused on foster contacts, coordination and the exchange of experience among speakers of the UK House of Commons and overseas territories. They considered questions of interest and expressed non-party political views on such issues, promotion of knowledge and understanding of parliamentary democracy in its various forms, and the development of parliamentary institutions. At the meeting, Honourable Bush and Honourable Ebanks-Wilkes highlighted the Cayman Islands Parliament's brief history and working, as well as challenges arising from the COVID-19 pandemic. Speaker Bush noted the meeting also served as an opportunity for the UK Speaker to underscore his aim to foster and develop relationships with the UK OTs and their people's representatives. Shanda Gallego, Radio Cayman News.
Now for a look at news from around the region, here's Carib Updates' Wendy Chateau.
Russia has sent a shipment of coronavirus-related humanitarian assistance to Cuba, including 1 million medical masks, the Defense Ministry said, adding President Vladimir Putin had given instructions for the aid. Cuba, which kept coronavirus infections low last year, earlier this week reported the highest rate of contagion per capita in Latin America. That has strained its healthcare sector and helped stoke rare anti-government protests earlier this month on the island. 2 military planes carrying 88 tons of aid, including food and personal protective equipment, including over 1 million medical masks, departed from an airfield near Moscow on Saturday, the Defense Ministry said in a statement. The Cuban government has blamed the protests mostly on what it calls U.S.-financed counter-revolutionaries exploiting economic hardship caused by decades-old U.S. embargo. Mexico said on Thursday it would send to Cuba 2 Navy ships loaded with medical and food supplies, including syringes, oxygen tanks, and masks, along with powdered milk cans of tuna, beans, flour, cooking oil, and gasoline. Mexican President Andrés Manuel López Obrador has blamed the U.S. embargo for fomenting the unrest in Cuba. Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro said he was aiming to begin a dialogue with the country's political opposition next month in Mexico, facilitated by Norway, a process he hoped the United States would embrace. In May, the opposition changed the strategy and indicated its willingness to return to negotiations to resolve the political crisis in OPEC member Venezuela. Venezuela's opposition, led by Juan Guaido, has accused Maduro of using previous rounds to buy time in the face of diplomatic and sanctions pressure by the United States and others. Opposition groups have said they are willing to negotiate the conditions for presidential and parliamentary elections with Maduro's government. Maduro, in turn, has said he wants the negotiations to focus on the lifting of U.S. sanctions targeting the financial and oil sectors.
And now for a look at news from around the world, here's the BBC.
New figures from the United Nations suggest Afghanistan has seen a record number of civilians killed in the first half of this year. It blamed most of the deaths on the Taliban. Sekunda Kamani reports.
On average, more than 9 civilians were killed every day in Afghanistan over the past 6 months, with a particularly sharp rise in violence since May, when a new Taliban offensive began. The militants were responsible for more casualties than any other group. They now control around half of all the territory in the country. However, whilst the Taliban have encircled a number of cities and are fighting on the outskirts of some, they have not yet managed to capture any provincial capital. The UN is warning, however, that if current trends continue, this year will be the deadliest ever recorded.
In a slow and rambling final State of the Nation address to the Philippines Congress, President Rodrigo Duterte has defended his record. His controversial, often brutal campaign against illegal drug dealing resulted in thousands of people being killed. Jonathan Head explains.
Much of his speech was devoted to improvements in healthcare, education and infrastructure, which his critics accused the government of exaggerating. The Philippines is a more divided country than it seemed to be before Duterte, but he remains overwhelmingly popular. And the question uppermost in most minds is less whether he's achieved everything he claimed in this speech, but whether he will skate around the constitutional bar on a second term of office by running as vice presidential candidate in next year's election alongside his daughter Sarah, a powerful, some say unbeatable, dynastic political coupling.
The BBC there taking us out of Radio Cayman's 8 o'clock morning news. I'm Dion Anglin.
The 8 a.m. news is proudly sponsored by the Chamber of Commerce Pension Plan. For further information, please visit chamberpension.ky. The Cayman Islands Chamber of Commerce Pension Plan. We're here for you. Are you aware of the performance of your pension plan? The Cayman Islands Chamber of Commerce Pension Plan provides quarterly fund fact sheets for our members to stay informed with the plan's performance. For the year ended 30th of April, 2021, the various life cycle funds have provided returns between 10.5% and 43.2%. And our all-in expense ratio for year ended 30th of June, 2020 is currently the lowest it's ever been. 0.72%. Visit chamberpension.ky to review our fund fact sheets. You can see the performance as far back as 10 years. Remember that pensions are a longer-term investment strategy. Focus on the long term rather than the short-term returns. The Cayman Islands Chamber of Commerce Pension Plan continues to perform for you.
Stay in touch with Radio Cayman for the latest in news and information.
Follow Radio Cayman on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Download the Radio Cayman app or log on to our website, www.radiocayman.gov.ky.
Radio Cayman, your voice, your choice, your radio.
Do you have a customer shutoff valve installed? The customer shutoff valve enables you to turn off the water between the meter and your property. If you plan to shelter away from your home or are preparing your business for a storm, turning off the customer shutoff valve can prevent unexpected high water bills and property damage should a leak occur in your plumbing. For more useful hurricane preparedness tips, visit the Water Authority's website at www.waterauthority.ky or follow us on social media.
For the Health of It is heard on Wednesdays at 7 p.m. and repeated on Saturdays at 9:30 a.m. It is brought to you by Holy Cross Health. Quality medical care and advanced technology with sincere compassion and understanding. Our mission is you. Call 1-954-351-5906. Email global services at holy-cross.com or visit Holy Cross Health at holy-cross.com.
The 8:10 a.m. weather report, Monday through Friday, is proudly sponsored by Pan American International Insurance Corporation. Pan American International Insurance Corporation, meeting the life, accident, and health insurance needs of individuals and businesses to ensure financial security and peace of mind. For more information, call 949-8304 or visit www.palig.com. That's PALIG.com.
Pan American Life Insurance Group can help you take your employee benefit solution to the next level. For more than 110 years, millions of people have trusted PALIG because we've always delivered on our promise. PALIG is the only insurer providing group policies to as few as 3 employees and has the ability to combine life, health, disability, and income protection to provide you and your employees with a complete employee benefits package. Let us customize your employee benefit solution today. Call us at 949-8304 or visit our office at Unit 221, Cannon Place East, North Sound Road, or visit us online at www.palig.com. Pan American Life. People you can trust for life.
Pleasant good morning. Let's take a look at the latest weather report. Synopses indicate light winds and slight seas will continue over the Cayman area in association with a weak pressure gradient over the northwest Caribbean. Radar images show isolated showers around the Cayman area moving towards the northwest. Now the forecast for today calling for partly cloudy skies with a 20% chance of showers, and temperatures will be in the upper 80s. Winds will be east to southeast at 5 knots or less, and seas will be smooth to slight with wave heights of less than 2 feet. Tonight, partly cloudy skies with a 20% chance of showers, and temperatures falling to the upper 70s. Winds will be east to southeast at 5 knots or less, and seas will be smooth to slight with wave heights of less than 2 feet. Today's high tide will occur this morning at 11 minutes past 11, low tide this evening at 9 minutes after 5, and a high tide again tonight at 11:44. The sun will set this evening at 2 minutes after 7 and will rise tomorrow morning at a minute after 6. And the outlook is calling for an increase in cloudiness and showers as a tropical wave over Haiti is expected to move over the northwest Caribbean by tomorrow morning. Thereafter, a decrease in these conditions is expected as it moves west of the Cayman area by Wednesday morning.
The 8:10 a.m. weather report, Monday through Friday, is proudly sponsored by Pan American International Insurance Corporation. Pan American International Insurance Corporation, meeting the life, accident, and health insurance needs of individuals and businesses to ensure financial security and peace of mind. For more information, call 949-8304 or visit www.palig.com. That's PALIG.com.
We at Pan American Life Insurance Group are here to help you protect your family and your income. For more than 110 years, millions of people have trusted PALIG because we have always delivered on our promise. Life insurance is not only about death, but also about living benefits. We'll help you secure the life insurance, accident and sickness disability income you need to protect you and your family. Call us today at 949-8304 or visit our office, Unit 221, Cannon Place East, North Sound Road, or visit www.palig.com. Pan American Life, people you can trust for life.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Planning a meeting, event, or office celebration? Visit subway.ky to place your catering order today.
Good morning once again. Let's take a look at what's happening traffic-wise. Moderate flow of traffic on the West Bay Road and from the Ritz. Traffic on Cool Road stayed a bit flowing, and stayed a bit flowing traffic as well on the Linford Pearson Highway. Huldah Avenue, traffic is moving on moderately, as well as on Godfrey Nixon Way and Eastern Avenue. Light to moderate traffic flow on Edward Street, as well as on Owen Roberts Drive. Coming off of Bobby Thompson Way, moderate flow of traffic. And in and out of Georgetown and Shedden, we're looking pretty good as traffic flowing at a good pace. And North Sound Road traffic is moving on moderately. That's the very latest on your traffic. Join us again at about 10 minutes after 12 o'clock. We'll give you another traffic report. Remember, click it or ticket.
You see how hard it's raining?
Yeah, and I don't have time to fight traffic and get my lunch from Subway. I have so much work to do.
Why don't you order Subway by using the Let's Eat or Bento app? Save time, stay dry, and get your sandwich fast.
I never thought of that. Great idea. I'm going to order now.
Order me a veggie pizza while you're at it.
And a cookie platter for the office.
Too busy at work or home? Is the rainy weather stopping you from dining out? Order your favorite Subway sandwich, wrap, or pizza through the Let's Eat or Bento app with fast and reliable delivery. Subway, eat fresh.
The traffic report is brought to you by Subway. Planning a meeting, event, or office celebration? Visit subway.ky to place your catering order today.
3T Cayman MRI is the patient-friendly MRI experience in the Cayman Islands. With the most advanced scanner on island, utilizing cutting-edge technology, and a team of highly trained radiologists and technologists with the experience that rivals any clinic in the world. Our suite is designed for patient comfort. with the largest patient opening of any scanner and additional features to minimize anxiety during your scan. Come to 3TKman MRI for your patient-friendly experience. Learn more at 3tkman.com.
We asked 100 people what they would do with a little extra time. Top answers included hang with friends, sleep, volunteer, walking on the beach, watch TV. But the odd thing is, no one said, stand in line to pay my bill. Funny that. Now Logic introduces Logic My Account. Pay online, view bill history, schedule automatic payments, and more. Go to logic.ky/my account and pay online, not stand in line. Logic My Account. Go on. Give yourself a little extra time. Bake a cake, browse the web, yoga, spring clean.
For the record, with Ort Connor.
Initiating system. For information that matters. For the record, with Ort Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. It is my pleasure to have in the studio with me this morning the Honorable Wayne Panton, Premier of the Cayman Islands. He's going to be with us until about 9 o'clock or a few minutes before 9, and then he will have to leave. So we're going to try to cover as much ground as we can. We're talking about the vaccination situation in the Cayman Islands, COVID-19, what needs to be done, and he's sharing with us whatever he can in relation to the government's plans, because of course, he wouldn't want to preempt any, even though this would be the nice place to share the secrets, but they won't be secrets as soon as we put them on the air. So, Premier, we have one WhatsApp message here, and I'd like you to address this, even though I know Doctors Lee and Brown addressed it last week. The person says, I have recently become aware of another challenge we face in reaching the 80% vaccination rate. A Caymanian college student got one shot here and the other shot in a jurisdiction not recognized by Cayman. What is the government's plan to address this issue?
Yeah, I was actually, I don't know about it being a college student, but I was certainly aware a couple of weeks ago of an individual who had the first shot here and then got the second shot in the U.S., and I suspected it may be somebody in school. I didn't have any specific details around that, though. Yeah, that's obviously a challenge. What has been a challenge all along is that we have been trying to, get to a point with the U.S. where we can get, we can securely verify, which just means verify to the standard that we need to be, sure about it. The vaccination records of individuals, and that's the same situation here. What has transpired more recently, it's been obviously been developing over a period of weeks, is that we're being able to read more and more records and QR codes and digital verifications from U.S. service providers who are vaccinating people. And I'm hopeful that we'll be able to develop that in the coming, 2 or 3 weeks perhaps, then get to the point where it's significantly greater. The need for it is obviously there. What has been a disappointment and a frustration is that whereas we have a lot of the European countries, European Union countries, we have the UK, those are all sort of majorly government-led initiatives to provide digital verification or even paper form verifications that are very, very difficult to fake or to counterfeit. Not so in the U.S. Our one here, the paper version isn't that great either, but we can verify it here, and we are in the process of developing our own app, which should be available fairly shortly, where we can demonstrate it to international agencies as well, and issue a QR code for that. But the versions issued in the U.S. are easily faked. They've already had significant numbers of people faking these things and being prosecuted for having done so, because the consequences are significant, and the the incentivization for people to do that is there as well, because it means sometimes 5, 10 days, 14 days. Sometimes it means a question of being able to access certain areas if they can claim that they're vaccinated. So we have to be careful, but I believe there should be a press release that would have gone out either yesterday or first thing this morning from the health ministry, which basically confirms that we're able to now read some North American or American issued QR codes. They're issued by an organization called Smart Health Cards, and they're part of what's called the Common Trust Network. And the press release has linked access for all those references. So hopefully journalists, when they get those, they can download or they can access the links and get more information to advise the people exactly what all that means. But the bottom line is we're in a position where we're now able to significantly improve our ability to read and verify American-done vaccinations. And that's going to be critical for us.
Yeah, critical in what way? What will that allow us, what sort of flexibility that will give us?
Well, it gives us, our position is we need those people who are coming in as tourists, we want them vaccinated. We let some other people in on the basis that they're unvaccinated and they have to go through the 14-day. We let our own people in, or our own Caymanians in. If they choose to not get vaccinated, they're going to have to go through the 14-day quarantine and get the clear PCR at the end of that. But for initially, up until November, people are going to have to be vaccinated in order to come in as tourists, and they're going to be subject to the 5-day quarantine, and then they get a clear PCR in order to get out. So that's it's really important to us. We recently announced that we have identified two travelers who came in, went through the quarantine, and were picked up as positives on day 6 of the quarantine before they were released. They were identified as positives, and they were subsequently confirmed to have the Delta variant, which is the much more virulent and transmissible one, and it has been demonstrated to make people sicker. But they obviously were kept in quarantine until they were cleared. If we don't have that, if we can't pick these people up, if we rely on false vaccination confirmations, those two individuals, for example, and others might come in with fake things, and we might not pick them up on day 6. They may take a couple days longer for the incubation to fully develop, and then the viral load to develop, and we might miss them.
Yep.
And then suddenly they're in our society, and we might end up having the Delta variant. Once that gets loose, it's I think statistically it's about 60% more transmissible. So that significantly increases the risk that we are going to have local contagion and local transmission, and these are the challenges that we face. And we're going to make mistakes, right? We're not going to get it right, but I think in this role and what we're trying to do here, we've got to try to err on the side of caution. So people can scream and they can criticize, but that's what we're trying to achieve. We're trying to get something done that hasn't been successfully done before. And a few years from now, you might look back and say this wasn't necessary or that wasn't necessary. But today, you can't say that. You can say it in hindsight, but today you can't say it. And we've got to try to do what we can to minimize the risk.
And you can't play with people's lives and their safety.
Exactly.
We do have a caller. Let's go to the phone lines. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, my beautiful, wonderful Premier. I love you so much. You're doing very good. Don't worry about the critics, I get that.
Thank you, dear.
And
I love you too.
And they nail him to the cross, so you don't worry. They say sticks and stones can break your bones, but word do hurt. So long they do touch you, don't worry. I don't get that, because this is a small island. People got nothing else to do but criticize and mind people's business. But one thing I want to tell you, too, what you need to address, because I was hearing that, and I went to war for it. And I didn't know, but I do argue about things that I don't really know. But it was told to me when I was bringing you up and whatever I'm saying, give him time. He's not been in 6 months yet, and he's doing better than either other premier, if I have to say so. But they lick me with, you guys that you done raise on a pay. And I said, well, I don't know nothing about that. And then I was talking to somebody, and I understand that was done from January. I said, well, then the premier wasn't in January. They were in April. So don't give him blame for what he didn't do. So I don't know nothing about that. So maybe you can elaborate on it if you know, because that's what they got circling now, because they got to find something to say. And one more thing about the vaccine, I had my 2, and if I got to get 3, if I got to get 4, if I got to get 6, because they're telling me all kinds of things, some are laughing at me, but wait till it hit you, because right now my brother's very sick, he's up in Shetty, and they're claiming that that's what do him, which they never tell him, that's what do him, and now that's another thing. His insurance that he got don't cover. Then they won't send him down from there to the back to Georgetown. And he said he do not want to come to Georgetown because my brother's very sick. We nearly lose him. He had blood clot. How they find stuff with his liver, his lungs. He having fever and he can't.
Caller, we don't want you to put your brother's medical situation out there in the public domain. Though you may not want to do that.
Cut me off now for that.
No, not gonna cut you off. I'm just saying,
you like me, I've been telling you that. That's why I went to Jordania and say you're biased. You are.
No, but there's something called privacy, and your brother has privacy, and you want to respect that.
Because I think you know me, and I respect you very much, but you need to respect me too, because you give other people time on this show, but you were quick to slick me off when I start to say anything that hit your corner or whatever.
Don't worry, dear. I think he's just suggesting the right approach in terms of not discussing your brother's situation too much. But we understand, and if you want me to address the first point that you made in terms of the allegations of the government giving themselves a raise, I'll do that right now if that's okay.
Sure.
So. On that point, I was actually quite surprised, to be honest, to suddenly see this article in the Compass. I was very surprised to see that because I know this all originated from what was then called the Parliamentary
Management Bill.
Sorry, the Legislative. It was originally then called the Legislative Assembly Management Law 2020, which was passed in October 2020. And then there was a commencement order of December 15th, which brought that law into effect on the 1st of January 2021. In between that, we had the change from Parliament, from Legislative Assembly to Parliament. So the LA became an autonomous body, and the name was changed to Parliament. And that then changed the reference to the Parliamentary Management Act. So that act came into force on January 1st. I know there was press coverage about it back then. There was press coverage around the debate and the discussion around it, and that particular piece of legislation was obviously part of the conversion for Parliament to arise as an autonomous body, and it also dealt with, in the schedules, it dealt with some of the costs, some of the allocations of constituency allowances that are being complained about, and also some of the indications of some of the starting salary levels for ministers and the deputy premier, speaker, chief justice, even, and of course the premier's office. But that was all done then, and as I've said in other places over the last few days, I don't mind getting criticized for a decision we make, but don't come and try to criticize us for a decision that we did not make and we were not a part of. So we came in and we found this the way it was. What we were doing in Finance Committee recently was simply putting in place what was required by the existing legislation. Somebody might say, well, did you come in with a plan to cut these costs and all that? No, we didn't actually campaign on that. That wasn't something that we came in to do. And certainly it would require more than just, an idea that you wanted to reduce that. And we couldn't do that through Finance Committee. I can't defund something that is already in existence as a law and a requirement. I have to deal with the construct that we are faced with, and we have to provide the funding, and that's all we were doing. And the reason we had to do it is, of course, the previous government didn't go back to Parliament at all in the first part of this year, and they brought forward the election by 6 weeks, and we all know the rationale that was given around that. So we're dealing with the need to administratively make sure that the government is properly set up, that Parliament is properly set up, and we weren't in a position to do otherwise, because we would then have to change the law. We'd have to go back with an amending bill to do all that.
Because some people are of the impression that since decisions were made, for instance, in terms of the opening of particular offices in Brussels and whatever, that you were able to do that. Why weren't you able to? But you've obviously explained exactly. Yeah. You're talking about legislation now.
Right. This is a piece of legislation which existed, and everything around that was already in place. Whether we have overseas offices is an administrative issue. It's not something which compels us to do. There's no legislation around that, and we decided that, given where we were, given the current state of the world affairs, it made much more sense for us to slow down the consideration of that, to not do some of the things that had originally been planned, and to reallocate some of those resources to where we actually need it right now, and that is helping our people in this country. Okay.
And of course, any member of the Legislative Assembly who wants to defer that raise can do so, or decide, that portion of the raise will go to their particular charity or whatever. We know that in the past, some members of our Legislative Assembly have announced that they would do that. Whether or not they went ahead and did it is another matter, but that's one of the options. We're going to take a commercial break. We do have a caller on hold. Folks, please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
Look at you, listening to the radio, tuning in, getting stuff done. Total doer. Maybe you're driving, maybe you're getting your oil changed, or grabbing some chicken. Maybe you're doing something that's nobody's business but yours. Hey, that's cool. We're all doing something. Now you can join a whole new community of doers doing more on findyellow.com. With custom search, local experts, and trusted reviews, whatever you're doing, get it done on findyellow.com.
You don't always have to give up the food you love to live a healthier life. You just have to choose better to eat better. At Caribbean Bakery, we know that delicious, nutritious bread only uses a few ingredients that leads to better taste, better health, and an overall better experience. We focus on simple, quality ingredients while leaving out the bad ingredients that commercial bread brands are known for and can lead to illness. Feed your body, feed your family with 100% additive-free, freshly baked bread from Caribbean Bakery. And don't miss our hot bread Sundays, freshly baked loaves delivered to McRuss grocery store every Sunday morning. Caribbean Bakery, made Cayman fresh.
West Bay, home to Barkas National Park, the touristy flair, a family community, a political powerhouse. From sports enthusiasts to car aficionados, affection for silver thatch roof. No matter how far you may venture, West Bay will always be where the heart is. Home will always be in West Bay. West Bay Pharmacy, caring for your home and your family. West Bay Pharmacy in Centennial Towers. Convenient, quality care is just around the corner.
"2021, the year of the Cayman Islands seafarer or seafarers, the heart of the Cayman Islands maritime heritage, the modern Cayman Islands ship. The new Noka, on a voyage from Cayman to Tampa in July 1936 with 22 people on board, vanished without any substantive evidence of what was her fate. Tune in on Friday at 12:15 p.m. for CI Retro's Talk Today, the new Noka's story, being brought to you by MJS Plumbing. Whatever your plumbing needs are, call MJS at 916-4549. MJS Plumbing.
The Department of Education Services and the Public Health Department would like to inform parents that health screening for new students will take place during the summer until August 23rd across Grand Cayman schools. The Public Health Department will be visiting your district schools and will be contacting you regarding school health screening appointment. Health screenings will also continue during September and October for those children who were not screened during the summer.
Join the Group Limited for a hospitality recruitment open day at All Star Sports Bar and Grill, located upstairs in Queens Court Plaza on Wednesday, July 28th from 1 p.m. to 4 p.m. They are recruiting Caymanians and residents with rights to work for multiple food and beverage locations in the following positions: HR assistant, accounts assistant, office administrator, bartender, server, dishwasher, barback, food runner, restaurant host, supervisor, events and entertainment coordinator, guest concierge, line cook, commercial and residential cleaner, beach attendant, maintenance assistant, groundkeeper, and security guard. Full job descriptions will be available on the day. Please bring a copy of your resume and a photo ID. For further information, contact hr@thegroupltd.com.
System 1 loaded.
1-800-534-8255. What is on your mind when it comes to the government, independence, and the opposition? Issues that matter to you. 1-800-534-8255. Waiting to hear from you. For the Record.
This is For the Record with Ort Connor.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. It is my pleasure to have in the studio with me this morning the Honorable Wayne Panton, Premier of the Cayman Islands. Ms. Susan, we have another caller on hold. 2 callers. Okay, we're going to take both callers. First caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Yes, good morning, O.C. How are you?
Good morning. I'm fine. How are you doing, my friend?
Pretty good. And good morning to the Honorable Wayne Panton.
Good morning, sir.
Yeah, how are you, sir?
I'm not too bad, sir. I hope you're doing well.
Okay. I don't know if you know me, but my name is Rupert Lennox Moxham.
Well, I know who it is now for sure, sir.
Well, I mean, I grew up in Georgetown, and now I reside in the Brock.
Yes, sir.
A big Brock here. Yeah. First of all, I would like to congratulate you on your accomplishment in becoming the Premier of the Cayman Islands. You understand?
Thank you, sir.
I have a couple questions for you, if you don't mind.
No, sir. Go ahead.
I'm pretty much sure you're familiar with the police vacating the premises that they were at.
Yes, sir.
And now they moved down to, I understand, an office building down in Stake Bay.
I think that's right, sir.
Yes. Well, sir, I have to tell you that I spoke to the governor, and he didn't lose no time in sort of vacating the area. So I am interested in purchasing the property. And before I get into that, I would like to let you know that the police incurred a debt with us while they were there. And the debt is quite high. and I am interested in buying the place. Even if you don't even want to bring that into it, I am interested in buying the place. I've spoken to the district commissioner. He told me that he had to get in contact with a guy by the name of Wilbur Welcome, I think. And I definitely would like you to at least not tell me today, but in some sort of correspondence. My number is 917-6903, and I would really like some sort of closure to this whole ordeal, because it's really mind-boggling to know that it's so many people in the Cayman Islands with authority that have told me in the past that they're going to look into it. And my God, if they're still looking into it, man, I wonder how long someone in authority have to look into a situation that is so easy to solve. And so, please, sir, I would really love you to really give me some answers, not today, but in the future, in the not too distant future.
Yes, sir.
Okay?
I will do so. The individual you referenced is a public officer in the Ministry of Lands, so that would be the right ministry to be speaking to on that issue.
Well, is there any indication that you can give me on how because apparently you just can't get hold of these people that is in charge, honestly.
Oh, you can just call the 949-7900 and ask.
Yes, go ahead.
If that hasn't been working for you, then I'll pass your number on, and I'll ask him to give you a call directly.
Yep. I would really appreciate that.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Colin. Thank you very much.
Bye-bye.
Thanks.
Next caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning, Mr. Panel. Morning, Nosy.
Good morning, sir. Morning.
Okay. It's a few topics that I would like to direct them to Mr. Panel.
Okay. I want to try to be as quick as possible.
Yes, sir. Okay. Mr. Panel, when it comes to the vaccination and stuff, and I hear people talking about forced mandatory vaccination. That is one thing that I think would end up in a fight into the court system. I don't believe that people that are unvaccinated want to hold a country hostage, but some people got religious and other belief into theories why they don't want to take it. That's one point. Just take note. I'm going to say some additional things, and then you can address them after, please.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Now, the situation is, the other day I heard Mr. Manderson was talking about how proud he is taking on interns and stuff, and he came up through the ropes of that. When it comes to the intern coming into any government companies or any government entities, there's always been a fight when it comes to indigenous Caymanians. They give them some jobs, or when they go into college, government actually gives some of them the scholarship.
Mm-hmm.
When they come back to Cayman, there's no placement, they tell them. And whenever you do a background check, behind the scenes, they're pulling in this one or that one that just got off a plane. That needs to be wiped out and stopped immediately. Caymanians are getting up to school every year. Some of them are just trying to start off, and someone prefers to start off without the help of mom and dad.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? Can't happen. When they keep doing this foolishness every time that a Caymanian go to school, they're in debt when they come back, and the government that give them the scholarship for whatever it is they went, so they will give them no placement when they come back.
Your next point?
The next point is, whenever it comes now back to individuals now, they're coming into this country. We've seen almost every time, maybe British Airways coming there, they're important cases of almost every occasion. When we got to take PR tests if we go in, or better yet, if we go into a country, Cayman need to mandate. I don't care, England, Japan, or wherever they're coming from, they need to mandate rigorous testing, because if you're telling me that I'm coming into a country and they require that, I know some places may be shady when it comes to doing testing. They got tests, a couple say they're free and clear and they don't have it, and it turns out when they land here, they got it. That needs to be addressed immediately. And Mr. Parnell, I want you to know, don't let the other government force you into opening up this country prematurely, so we could end up going backwards instead of forward, because they want to see you fail. I'm making you know that they want to see you fail. Don't get me wrong, I have no political agenda and affiliate. I never voted for you. I voted for your previous government, and because I wanted change, I made up my decision not to vote again. But you're still my government.
Yes, sir.
You're the ruling, and I still got utmost respect for you. Some things I don't agree on, but it's part of politics.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much, caller.
One more thing, Mr.
Very quickly.
All right, yeah. You said a trend, Mr. Pardon, saying that you want transparency and fairness right across the board.
Mm-hmm.
You started on a good line. I know you go have hiccups along the way. Continue on that trend. But you need to root out all of the evil in these government departments and authorities. We're taking advantage of Cayman. I'm proud of how you started, and with the grace of God that you continue on that trend and don't let nothing change you from your course.
Thank you. Thank you very much,
Thank
caller.
you very much, sir.
Premier, we're going to give you an opportunity to answer those as soon as we return from the commercial break.
All right,
also,
sir.
we're going to close the phone lines off because we know you have to leave at 9 o'clock, and I want to give you
Yes, sir.
opportune time to respond and to say any other things, address any other issues that you want to address. Folks, please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
Ready, set, gold! Enjoy the latest and greatest sports events live on SportsMax. With every Digicel Prime bundle, get dedicated data for your SportsMax app so you can catch all the live action and more right at your fingertips, anytime, anywhere. Get your 30-day Digicel Prime Bundle Plus for only $55 and start watching, because catching gold is better on a bundle. Digicel, better together.
Did you know that defective airbags can cause serious injury or even death if not repaired immediately? Right now, millions of vehicles around the world are under recall for faulty Takata airbags, and yours could be one of them. At Vamt Motors, our priority is to make sure the Toyota or Ford you drive is safe. So we are offering customers a free, fast, and easy airbag swap out if your vehicle was manufactured in 2016 or earlier. Find out if you need to have new airbags installed by emailing your Ford or Toyota vehicle's VIN or vehicle identification number to service@vampmotors.com, or stop by Vamp's Service Center or call us at 949-2245. Don't risk it. Get the airbags in your Toyota or Ford checked for free at Vamp Motors on Walkers Road.
What's that? No sugar, same amazing taste? Coca-Cola Zero Sugar is here to stay. Classic taste, pure satisfaction. Be sure to stop into any Tortuga location and get your own case of Coke Zero. Or grab an ice-cold one straight from the cooler. Brought to you by Tortuga Distributors Limited. Coca-Cola, taste the feeling, K-Man.
Make your house into a home. Welcome to Brand Source Home Gallery, your source for premium products and a premium experience. We'll design and install your dream kitchen with crafted cabinets, complemented with elegant appliances. We'll fill it with quality houseware and cookware. Custom-designed closet and storage solutions organize and beautify any area. And with the finest bedding, you'll get a perfect night's sleep knowing Brand Source Home Gallery has everything you need to make your house a home.
This is an important public service announcement. The Commission for Standards in Public Life reminds all persons subject to the Standards in Public Life Act that they are required to submit their annual declarations by no later than Friday the 30th of July 2021. To determine if you are required under the Act to submit a declaration, visit standardsinpubliclifecommission.ky. Again, the deadline for submissions of declarations of interest via the online portal in accordance with the Standards in Public Life Act is Friday, 30th of July 2021.
For the first time in over 45 years, the University College of the Cayman Islands is having an alumni homecoming gala dinner on October 28th. The event highlights the kickoff of the UCCI Alumni Network, a community of professionals helping the university and one another. If you're a UCCI graduate, join the network today and let your fellow classmates know about it. Visit ucci.edu.ky/alumni and come give us a hand with UCCI's first ever homecoming.
Radio Cayman, the voice, the heart, the soul of the Cayman Islands.
For the record, with Ort Connor.
Initiating system.
For information that matters. For the record, with Ort Connor.
continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning. Welcome back to For the Record. We're on the last leg of this segment because the Premier, of course, you know, he's a very important person, very busy as well. So he's spent as much time as he could this morning with us here. So, Premier, back over to you. Give you an opportunity to respond to the callers and to cover any other issues that you may wish.
The issue there is more that I'm busy, not so much that I'm important. A lot of important people around the place. You're very important, sir. Yeah. On that point, there are several points that last caller raised. Compulsory vaccinations. No, we're not at that point. We're not thinking about doing anything like that. You know, is it possible that could happen? You know, from a technical legal perspective, quite possibly. Is that something that we're thinking about? No.
Okay.
On the internships point, yes, I understand where he's coming from with that, and I know that. Government recently had about 100 interns, I think, somewhere around that number across the different ministries and departments.
I think we have one right here in Radio Cayman.
You might do. And as far as I know, we certainly made it very clear that we wanted these people to all be Caymanians. Now, what's more difficult these days is people might not recognize a name or the look of an individual as a Caymanian. But as far as I'm aware, they're all Caymanians. So I've been very happy with government's involvement and commitment, taking on the numbers of people. On the point about being rigorous in terms of testing people coming in, I think there was a reference to BA in particular. I don't have any concerns or doubts around the veracity of the tests and the accuracy and whatnot that are being done in the UK as opposed to the US or anything like that. So yeah, we had taken off the pre-flight test. Now we put it back on, and we've done away with their arrival test. And then the important test for us is the test to clear you from your quarantine. So if you were vaccinated, it's day 6 after you've done the 5 days quarantine. If you are unvaccinated, it's going to effectively be day 15 after you've done the 14 days quarantine. So I think we're fine in terms of, or we don't have any real concerns around how accurate and rigorous that testing is, whichever country they're coming from. Yes, we're not going to be pressured into premature reopening. At the end of the day, this is going to be a hindsight conclusion as to how effective we've been. But we'll worry about that then. For now, we're going to try to do our best to make sure that we do things as well as we can. Around transparency and fairness, I absolutely, can confirm to the individual that is the approach we're trying to take. I know that the more transparent you are, oftentimes the more information can be used to beat you over the head and criticize you. I'm okay with that. As I said earlier, criticize us for decisions we have made. Don't criticize us for decisions we had no part in. Yep. And we'll move forward from there. But yes, we are about transparency, and yes, we are fundamentally about fairness across our society. I've got to go in a few minutes. Sure. But yes, OC, I want to thank you very much, as always, for being such a gracious host, for always being so capable and informed yourself.
Thank you.
In being able to help guide conversations and discussions, and to help provide clarity to your callers. Even when nobody else is around to support you. You are more than capable of doing that, and I thank you very much. And it's always a pleasure to be here and talk to the people of our country and answer questions. One of the main reasons I wanted to be here this morning, OC, was to talk about the vaccine and to try to encourage people to, you know, not rely on information that you get from other people, from your friends. If you have any questions or concerns about the vaccine, please talk to your doctors directly. Go and ask your doctor about it. Or, you know, we have Dr. Lee that's on all the time. We have Dr. Hazel Brown that's on all the time. We've had videos from other HSA doctors one of whom even had, I think, had COVID themselves, you know, and confirmed what their experience was and how bad it was, and how lucky they felt to have survived it. You know, these are all really serious issues, and this is the one real tool that we have to help us get through this, help us get to the other side, whatever that may be in the future. But I'm hoping that the other side looks a lot better and looks a lot more like 2019 than it did 2020 or 2021 so far. So I want to implore those people that have concerns to please reach out and get the right information. Don't rely on social media. Don't rely on YouTube videos that people send around. I see so much of this nonsense going around that, you know, it's just made up stuff, and I don't know what motivates people to do it, but they do it. So get the information from your doctors, from your local sources you can trust. And I just want to say, you know, I wish everybody the start of a beautiful, wonderful week in our wonderful Cayman Islands, and let's keep our success going. Let's help us get through what is going to be a challenging period for the rest of this year, and successfully reopen and stay open, and while we're minimizing the risks and minimizing and maximizing the safety of our people.
Right. And Premier, we started the show by talking about the joint message from you and the Leader of the Opposition, Honourable Roy McTaggart. And I think what the people of the Cayman Islands would love to see is all of our parliamentarians getting involved, all of them coming together in this particular case about the COVID-19, sending a resounding and a unified message to be careful, to get vaccinated where it's possible, and for all members, all of our parliamentarians, those who are able to be vaccinated and don't have any underlying issues, to get out there and prove to the fact and tell people they have been vaccinated and encourage persons. So this is one of those cases where you want to say, do as I do.
Lead by example.
Yes.
And I that's exactly the approach that I have been contemplating, and I'm sure, you know, we'll get support in relation to that. So thank you for that input. What we did on Friday, I think, was a start, a good start.
Great.
And I again want to thank my friend and colleague and the Honourable Roy McTaggart, the Leader of the Opposition, for agreeing to do that. So thank you very much again, OC, and have a wonderful day and wonderful week to everyone in our wonderful Cayman Islands.
Thank you, and thank you very much for being here. And as always, the door is always open for you and your colleagues to be here as well. Folks, top of the hour headline news at 9 o'clock. When we return, we will have open line for you. Toll-free number 1-800-534-8255. Landlines 949-8037, 949-6990. Email for the record, one word, for the record, at candw.ky. WhatsApp us 925-3261. Some breaking news as well in relation to a judgment that has been rendered by the UK Privy Council in relation to the Royal Cayman Islands Police Service and their federation there as well. So please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
Continuing the Caymanian tradition.
Let Cora keep my ground so clean.
The heart and soul of the Cayman people. Thank you for keeping the culture alive.
There's the news every day. From East End to Georgetown, down into West Bay.
Radio Cayman in the Cayman Islands.
Today's biggest news.
Radio Cayman. Your voice, your choice.
Local, regional, international. This is Headlines from Radio Cayman's newsroom.
Today's biggest news.
While the borders are still closed to all but essential travel, tourism officials are taking the opportunity to provide training in a variety of areas. They have now launched their tour guide training program, which currently has a cohort of 26 individuals. The Department of Tourism said a free driver excellence program is coming up in August. However, you can find out more at aquila.ourcayman.ky. Good morning, I'm Dion Anglin with your headlines and news elsewhere. China has told the U.S. to stop demonizing Beijing in their most high-level talks under U.S. President Joe Biden. China's Vice Foreign Minister, Qi Feng, said relations had reached a stalemate because the U.S. saw China as imagined enemy. Mr. Biden has taken a hardline approach towards China, especially on issues like human rights and sanctions. And U.S. pop star Pink has offered to pay the fines handed out to the Norwegian women's beach handball team after they wore shorts like their male counterparts instead of bikini bottoms. The team was fined €1,500 for improper clothing at the European Beach Handball Championships last week. That's a wrap of your headlines. I'm Dion Anglin.
For the latest in news and information,
follow Radio Cayman on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Download the Radio Cayman app or log on to our website, radiocayman.gov.ky.
For the record, with Ort Connor.
Initiating system.
For information that matter. For the record, with Orit Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. It was a pleasure to have the Honorable Wayne Panton, Premier of the Cayman Islands, in the studio with us this morning. Of course, he was only able to stay until 9 o'clock, but he was also able to impart important information to us. We were able to hear his views and his administration views on certain issues as well. So we want to be extremely thankful for him. Now, before I take any calls and share anything else with you, I just want to address an issue in relation to a talk show, what a talk show is all about. We know in the Cayman Islands, we all love to talk. We all love, when we talk, we tell a story. A talk show, sometimes, depending on the availability of time, callers will get an opportunity to tell a story. And when we're not pressured for time, when we don't have other persons queued up, I will allow a lot of latitude as far as the length of time that a person is given to talk. Also, we need to bear in mind that some of us are not as articulate as others, and we bear with that as well. I don't try to correct people in terms of whether or not they're using the correct grammar or anything else. Allow you to express yourselves. But what we also have to realize is that there's an audience out there, a huge audience out there. I have friends in South Carolina who listen to Radio Cayman and Talk Today and For the Record. We have a diaspora in the United States, in the United Kingdom, and elsewhere. Also, you may be a family member of someone. I have sisters. I don't get on the radio and talk about my sister's conditions and their private issues. You have to respect the privacy of others. And unless, I repeat, unless you have been appointed as the spokesperson and possibly the legal guardian of that individual has rights, irrespective of whether or not they may be your family. And if you are not prepared to respect those rights, then I have a responsibility to at least caution you and to let you be aware of that. And let me be clear. I have no favorites when it comes to callers. Like I said, some people are able to articulate themselves better than others. That does not matter to me, as long as you can get across your message, as long as it's a message that doesn't create any legal problems for yourself or for Radio Cayman, you are allowed to express yourself as well. I will continue to do that. I will not, I repeat, I will not be intimidated by anyone. I will not be intimidated. I will continue to run this show in a fair, independent, and transparent manner to protect you, the public, to protect Radio Cayman, and to protect me, my integrity, and from a legal standpoint as well. But I will not be bullied by anyone. So please, please bear that in mind. I try to give everyone an opportunity to speak, some more than others, but bear in mind, it is a talk show, and you may say, well, if it's a talk show, then we should be allowed to talk. Yes, but it's a show that lasts 2.5 hours with commercial breaks every 15 minutes. And when we have guests on the show, we have to give those guests an opportunity to express themselves and to be able to convey the message that they are here to convey. So, at the end of the day, I'm going to allow everyone to be able to talk. I may caution you and say you have a short period of time left or whatever. By now, those of you who listen to the show as often as possible, you know when really it is time to cut things short. You'll hear little things like my voice coming in, or you may even hear a, or something of that nature. But I think those of you who, the responsible ones of you, now recognize the fact that there is limited time. Another cue, when you hear me say, oh, we have 3 callers on hold, then that's the cue that there are people waiting behind you. So you want to be able to get your point across as quickly as possible. And like I said before, not everyone has the ability to do that as concisely, as others. And I understand that and I respect that. So that will be all that I will have to say about that. But don't try to call and try to intimidate me, because you are barking up the wrong tree when you attempt to do that. They always, when they talk about the press and they say, you don't hold an argument by someone who buys ink by the ounces or something like that. I'll find that quote, at the end of the day. But we want to be fair to everyone, and I certainly appreciate everyone expressing their views as well. Here's one view. This person was talking about the raises, the increases in salary for members of parliament, and they talk about the civil service and the cost of living and their ability to get salary increases as well. It's fairly long, and I'll try as the show goes along to parse areas from that. One of the other things that someone had a question in relation to the increase in salary for members of parliament, and they were wondering that while the Attorney General and the Deputy Governor are members of parliament, whether or not their salaries have been affected by these increases as well. As we know, neither of them, neither the Deputy Governor nor the Attorney General has a vote in our parliament. But someone was curious to know whether or not their salaries would have been affected. I would venture to say that they are public servants, civil servants, and while they're members of parliament, whether or not their salaries are viewed from the standpoint of being a member of parliament or whether or not as part of the civil service, that is something that we will check into to get clarity on that for you. We do have a caller. Let's go to the phone lines. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Mr. Moderator and Mr. For the Record, good morning.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
Well, I'm doing fine. I have an observation I would like to share, and there's a caveat. I was scouring the internet because I am very interested, almost obsessed with this business of COVID-19.
Yes, sir.
And I saw where there's a new variant called the Gamma variant. There's Delta and Gamma. And I read this article in the Daily Telegraph.
Mm-hmm.
And what is concerning, Mr. Moderator, I saw it twice. The first time I saw it, when I went back to look for it, they had taken it down. Now I saw it back up again, most recently, as yesterday afternoon. What is concerning about this variant is that they say it seems to have resistance to the Pfizer vaccine. And they found it in 2 jurisdictions. And I believe I am accurate in saying that there were 254 cases in the north of the UK, someplace. I share it with you and your listeners for what it's worth. But I did recall that it came out in the Daily Telegraph about this new variant called the Gamma variant. And it is concerning because they found out from early tests that it is resistant to the Pfizer vaccine. So that is my point, sir. I would encourage you to investigate into it if there is any substance, sir.
I certainly do. I'm not sure whether or not you would want to share with the public, what are the precautions that you continue to take, in relation to COVID-19, despite the fact that we no longer have a mask requirement.
Well, I follow the advice of the scientists, and I see in the United States that they are going back to encouraging mask wearing in public places, and that is what I have begun to do, beginning yesterday at church. So when I go to enclosed places now, I will be wearing my mask, and also, in as much as possible, I will continue social distance where that is practical. So that is my precaution. And I might add, I am a fully vaccinated member of the community, and I advocate vaccinations for all people to whom the scientists say you should have it. And I see now the ages have gone down. I would recommend my fellow residents and Caymanians, go avail yourselves of the vaccine. Please, please, please.
And I see here also the Gamma variant that you've spoken about, that it also showed up in French Guyana amongst vaccinated gold miners.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I saw that.
Yep.
I saw that. I saw that. You Googled it.
Yes, I did.
Okay. So you know that I'm not talking out of my head, as
Precisely.
we say.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
Thank you very much, sir.
I shall continue to listen, and you keep up your job. I see you lay down your parameters, and you are well within your way. Sometimes I wonder how you don't touch the cutoff switch more often. But you are a patient man, and for that, God's blessing.
Yeah, they think that I have the switch here, but I really don't. But maybe we'll get one.
we should give you the nuclear option. We should give you that.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you, sir.
Have a great day.
All right, you too, sir. Take care. Ms. Susan, we're going to take that break. We do still have a caller. You want to take the caller? We're going to take the caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Boy, you busy this morning.
Yep. Really busy.
Good morning to your past caller. Your good morning, sir. I seems like I missed the last of the Premier's interview. But there really wasn't an interview. I just missed the last of the premiere.
Mm-hmm.
But the program is too far gone for me to raise all the questions, like how much does it cost to house a prisoner on average in the Cayman Islands per annum, and all them kinds of things. So that's what I really wanted to get to. What happened to our 2 doctors coming home can't, medical doctors
Mm-hmm.
coming home can't get no job. Have we reached a quota for the Caymanian practitioner? And, it has struck us before that we can't find jobs for Caymanian doctors. Overseas is benefiting from one of the world's best, I get to understand. We are punishing. And things like that I had want to ask the Premier about, but like I say, he's gone. So I just saying good morning to you and good morning to the past caller.
Okay.
And
Now,
the Premier ought to know by now that he could not have been in safer hands.
Thank you. And he did. At the end, we spoke about the fact that he and the honourable leader of the opposition last week came out with this joint message and pointed out to him that what the public.
I heard that at the top of the program. I heard that. And I'm really glad for that. And I would like to say good morning to Mr. Roy too.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Not a good man.
And we want to see all members of Parliament come together and send a resounding message, a unified message to the people of the Cayman Islands in terms of being vaccinated. We also need to hear, because I don't believe that we know how many of our parliamentarians have actually been vaccinated, And I believe sometimes the silence that we get from some of them may be an indication that they are not.
Oh, Kofi, where you going off the bench for? Leave people alone. Look here, but that suggestion that the previous caller made is a suggestion I'm talking about this morning with my unvaccinated friend. Whether we are in it or out of it, we should still be doing the basics. Those are the basics, and it's nothing wrong with us continuing to do the bare basics. It's just, as far as I'm concerned, another level of protecting yourself and protecting the rest of the country.
Okay.
Nothing wrong. You're staying a little distance and wearing a little mask and maybe even doing the hand sanitizer thing, even if you're doing it yourself, or wearing some gloves. Nothing wrong with that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So, have a nice day, Kof. Have a nice day.
Thank you. Thank you very much. We'll talk.
Yes, sir. Bye-bye.
Okay. We're going to take a commercial break, folks. Please stay tuned for the record. We'll be back shortly.
Eat, drink, and save money with BIP. Get the best deals across the islands exclusively with BIP. Introducing BIP Deals and Offers, home to the best money-saving coupons. And that's not all. Join the BIP Marketplace, the best place to buy and sell your items for free. Even better, win free lunch every Wednesday and stand a chance to win great prizes daily with BIP. Just download the free BIP app today and start BIPing.
West Bay, home to Barkas National Park, the touristy flair, a family community, a political powerhouse. From sports enthusiasts to car aficionados, affection for silver thatch rope. No matter how far you may venture, West Bay will always be where the heart is. Home will always be in West Bay. West Bay Pharmacy, caring for your home and your family. West Bay Pharmacy in Centennial Towers. Convenient, quality care is just around the corner.
You don't always have to give up the food you love to live a healthier life. You just have to choose better to eat better. At Caribbean Bakery, we know that delicious, nutritious bread only uses a few ingredients that leads to better taste, better health, and an overall better experience. We focus on simple, quality ingredients while leaving out the bad ingredients that commercial bread brands are known for and can lead to illness. Feed your body, feed your family with 100% additive-free, freshly baked bread from Caribbean Bakery. And don't miss our hot bread Sundays, freshly baked loaves delivered to McRuss grocery store every Sunday morning. Caribbean Bakery, made Cayman fresh.
Did you know that defective airbags can cause serious injury or even death if not repaired immediately? Right now, millions of vehicles around the world are under recall for faulty Takata airbags, and yours could be one of them. At Vant Motors, our priority is to make sure the Toyota or Ford you drive is safe. So we are offering customers a free, fast, and easy airbag swap out if your vehicle was manufactured in 2016 or earlier. Find out if you need to have new airbags installed by emailing your Ford or Toyota vehicle's VIN or vehicle identification number to service@vantmotors.com or stop by Vamp's Service Center or call us at 949-2245. Don't risk it. Get the airbags in your Toyota or Ford checked for free at Vant Motors on Walkers Road.
As the community continues to take precautions from COVID-19, it is important to stay prepared for other disasters now that we're in the hurricane season. Here are some post-hurricane safety tips from the Department of Environmental Health. Did you know you must ensure all utensils are washed with detergent and rinsed with hot water if they make contact with flood water? For full guidance on post-hurricane safety tips, visit www.deh.gov.ky.
Radio Cayman, the voice, the heart, the soul of the Cayman Islands.
For the record, with Ort Connor.
Initiating system.
For information that matters. For the record, with Ort Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. Do we have any caller on hold, Ms. Susan? No caller on hold at this point in time, so I will continue to talk about various issues. Number one, in St. Lucia, elections today, the 26th of July, elections in St. Lucia. United Workers' Party and the St. Lucia Labour Party. I think the last prime minister that they had under the United Workers' Party would have been, I think, make sure I get this right. Anyway, Dr. Kenny Anthony. Since then, we had Stevenson King, and then we had the current Prime Minister, Alan Chastanet, who's the Premier. What's interesting about that particular jurisdiction, Stevenson King, former Prime Minister, decided not to run. Well, whether or not he decided or who decided, but he did not run under his party banner. He was an incumbent minister as well. He chose to run as an independent. Understanding is that he had a huge motorcade, one of the largest, yesterday as well. So we anxiously await the results of the elections in St. Lucia as well. Also of interest to some may be the case in Bermuda, where the Chief Justice in Bermuda ruled in favor of the government as far as their COVID-19 regulations are concerned and the requirements for quarantine. So that is a victory for the government in terms of their regulations. Of course, the aggrieved parties have indicated that they will be appealing that decision as well. In the Turks and Caicos Islands, we see news that tourists in the Turks and Caicos Islands, they comprise 60% of the COVID-19 cases that are in the Turks and Caicos Islands. That should tell us something here in the Cayman Islands when we're talking about opening up our borders, what we are potentially opening up ourselves to if we are not fully prepared. And our in order for us to be well prepared, the rest of the world has to be at a particular stage, at a particular station. And we know that those jurisdictions where the majority of our tourists come from, they are not in that particular place at this point in time as well. We do have a caller. Let's go to the phone lines. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Morning, OC.
Good morning, sir. How are you?
I'm okay. I'm not calling on the subject. I'm calling just to ask you to give me a minute to wish Mrs. Rena Watler, who's 101 years old today. She's in Savannah. And she's a dear friend and a good lady, and I want to wish her all the very best, and may God, Almighty God, continue to bless her as she has blessed others. Mrs. Rena Watler of Savannah.
And you said she's 101?
101 year old.
Great. Excellent. Okay. And anything else you want to say to us, sir? Anything?
No, I soon come on with a message about the Cuba. I'll get back to you in a matter of getting medical aid to Cuba. I'm working on that with the Cuban community from all over the island, in fact, and the soon house I'm going to report on that, OC. Excellent.
Okay, well, we look forward to either having you in the studio or just calling on the phone. We'll appreciate either one.
I'll let you know.
Excellent.
Okay.
Thank you very much, sir. You have a great day.
Thanks very much for that, OC. Sorry to butt in on your show.
No, that's fine. I'm really fortunate that you called in about that, because what I wanted to say, Mr. Speaker, is that we have a tendency to talk about people after they have gone rather than while they're alive. And I'm going to have an open invitation for people to send in messages when it comes to people's birthdays and everything, so that we can announce them, on air, that they can hear, people wishing them and the country wishing them, a happy birthday as well. We need to recognize them while they're alive.
I believe that, and I know that you genuinely believe in that, because I know that you attend so many birthdays, anniversaries, prominent, long-term anniversaries. I know that. I see you there at times, and I say that I know you genuinely. And then there are so many Caymanians that we don't get to see.
Yes.
And then we can get to see them at those places, those events. And I certainly believe that. I do recall, when I believe that's strong, to give the flowers when people can recognize that they're getting them. I remember, and I forgot this 1 minute, I'll say this.
Sure.
That when we appointed, and I spearheaded the appointment of Miss Sybil as the longest-serving clerk in the Commonwealth to be our first speaker, and then to be, firstly, our national hero. It came back. Some people writing, prominent people, a judge even, wrote to say, well, how can you appoint a living person a national hero? And I said, well, what's stopping us from doing so? There's nothing here. Normally, worldwide, perhaps, you appoint people that status of being a national hero. Long years after they've gone, nobody knows much about them. Today's generation has never seen anybody read a verse or two, or even a book sometimes about it in some instances. But I believe that is an important thing, that you praise people, you give them accolades, you recognize them, you give them flowers when they can feel, and when they can touch, and when they can talk, and people can talk to them, and they can converse with younger people. I believe that's important.
It certainly is. Yes, sir.
All right. Wanted to say that.
Thank you. Thank you very much, sir. Okay, and we have another happy birthday here to Miss Sandra Archer. Today is her birthday as well. We want to wish her a happy birthday. And Sana, S-A-N AA, Sana Archer. And this is coming from her aunt. One of her aunts is wishing her a happy birthday as well. Folks, send them out. Sometimes it's nice to hear your name called on radio and for people to recognize you, as well. So let's let our people feel good. Let your family members feel good. Let them feel important. You want to ensure that you recognize them, give them public recognition as well. Time for us to take a commercial break. Miss Susan, any callers on hold? We have one caller. We will take that caller as soon as we return from this short commercial break, so please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
Health City is now open at Camana Bay, offering a wide range of specialties at our state-of-the-art Camana Bay Clinic. We are here to help you save time and feel better. We are open weekdays, weekends, and evenings for your convenience and are dedicated to reducing your wait time while improving your health. Friendly staff, expert care, lab services, and diagnostics in one convenient location from the hospital you know and trust. Health City at Camana Bay, within your reach.
You don't always have to give up the food you love to live a healthier life. You just have to choose better to eat better. At Caribbean Bakery, we know that delicious, nutritious bread only uses a few ingredients that leads to better taste, better health, and an overall better experience. We focus on simple, quality ingredients while leaving out the bad ingredients that commercial bread brands are known for and can lead to illness. Feed your body, feed your family with 100% additive-free, freshly baked bread from Caribbean Bakery. And don't miss our hot bread Sundays, freshly baked loaves delivered to McRuss grocery store every Sunday morning. Caribbean Bakery, made Cayman fresh.
Initiating system.
For information that matters. For the record, with Orit Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. As promised, going straight to the phone lines. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record. Thanks for being so patient.
Yeah, we'll see, man. I'm patient. Very patient. Man, I tell you the truth, I really had to call back. Normally I don't do call back, but
that's
I had to call back. And, I remember a quote way back when, that the quote said, if you don't stand for something, you'll fall for anything. You understand?
So true.
And that service that you giving the people of the Cayman Islands, my friend, it's going to be hard to fill to fill that seat when you're gone. I hate to say that, but that is what the radio station needed for so long. And then now that we got one, you just can't allow people to say anything that they want to say on the radio, especially about someone else. And I want to call you back and give you credit for putting down your verdict on what you say about the station. OC, you're doing a great job, and continue that work, my friend.
Thank you. Thank you very much, my friend. Thank you very much for that.
Right.
Other callers, Miss Susan? Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Hello.
Good morning. Welcome.
Yeah, hello, OC.
Hey, good morning. How are you doing?
Not bad. How's everything going?
I'm good. Good to see you on Saturday. Huge turnout. And, the DJ there was able to find Blueberry Hill, and play it for us as well.
Yeah, man. That was nice.
Yes.
Miss Rena Watler, that's my first mother-in-law. And she lives right next to you and me.
Yes.
Right up here, And I just want to extend also a happy birthday to her. And, she's still bright and she's out in the sun every morning. They takes her out in the wheelchair every morning to enjoy the sun.
That's good.
In the area here. But, and I'll tell you what a lot of people saying that coffee isn't good. But, I mean, like I said, she was my first mother-in-law, and I knew her for years, even in Honduras, and she lived off of coffee. So when people are saying that coffee not good, it's good because she's still drinking it, after all these years.
Yeah. Yeah, what's good for some persons may not be good, for others, and it really all depends on the composition of your body and your tolerance to certain things.
Yep, and what you used to, and another one, Mr. Kerry Holston in South.
Mm-hmm.
He told me that he starts his morning at 4:30 in the morning with his first cup of coffee, and at 9 o'clock in the night he's finishing his cup of coffee. So, it works for some people, but it's a lot of the people that use the strong coffee that keep them going, So I just wanted to wish her a happy birthday, and everything is in God's hand, and God has blessed her over the years with a lot of years, 100 and odd years.
Yeah, and a big family as well. Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
But I also enjoyed, like you said, Saturday. It was very nice. Got to see a lot of people that you can't hardly see now when the morning came on,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I had to be so careful on the show on Friday to make sure that it didn't slip up, because it was a surprise. So my sister Arlene kept saying, remember, it's a surprise now. So I say, yeah, I got the WhatsApp message. I know exactly what it is. I'm not going to, let a slip of the tongue happen on the radio.
Yeah, man. But anyhow, it continue. Also enjoy the show, man, and continue to work. Like you said, stand firm. Don't make nobody intimidate you.
Thank you very much.
All the best, man.
Thank you very much for that as well. Okay. That's it for the calls, Miss Susan. Okay. No more calls at this point in time. So I mentioned earlier, and I hadn't had an opportunity to take a look at this yet, and I'm sure that on Wednesday, Dr. McPhail and I will be able to talk more about this. The judgment, the Royal Cayman Islands Police Association and others who were the appellants versus the Commissioner of the Royal Cayman Islands Police Service and another respondent, Cayman Islands. The judgment was given today. The case was heard by the Judicial Committee of the Privy Council on the 19th of May. The legal representatives for the appellants, Jeffrey Jupp, James Rubottom, Guy Dilway Parry, and they were instructed by Priestley's in the Cayman Islands. Those representing the respondents, David Perry, QC, Catherine Hardcastle, Reshma Sharma, Claire Allen, instructed by Attorney General's Chambers of the Cayman Islands. The appellants, the individual appellants, Royal Cayman Islands Police Association. 2, Dane Pinnock. 3, Claire Pinnock Jackson. 4, Clive Smith. 5, Leslie Franklin. 6, Antonio Lopez Jackson. 7, Celestford Lumsden. 8, Howard Campbell. 9, Hugh Cotterell. Respondents, Commissioner of the Royal Cayman Islands Police Service and the Attorney General of the Cayman Islands. Now, you will say, well, here you go. You're talking about putting people's business out there on radio. Well, this is a public document, so I can, and the public document includes the names of the appellants as well as the respondents, even though the respondents are really organizations or entities as opposed to individuals. But and like I said, I haven't had the opportunity yet to look at it. I'm trying to see whether or not there's an executive summary as far as the judgment is concerned, and I will share as much of that as I can with you before we go off the air as well. We do have a caller. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record.
Good morning, O.C. How are you?
Good morning. I'm fine. How are you, my friend?
Good. Just calling in to, number one, to commend you and support you for your stance in regards to calls that goes a bit off track. I was a few weeks ago. I mean, I was too upset to call in, really. But the daytime talk show had some guests on there, and they were just giving absolutely incredible misinformation about the vaccine, and the host and the moderator, well, host as well, just let that person continue. And they were talking about, that people were falling dead in the U.S., like 3 people a day from taking the vaccine, and on and on and on. And this is a government radio station and a government that is promoting the vaccine take up. And then you have a radio station which is an arm of the government promoting or encouraging or I should say facilitating false information. And no stop was put to it. But I'm glad this morning that you have some marks in the sand that people have to abide by, because it makes the talk show much more credible and much more upscale, if I could use the word, because the last thing you want is a talk show just for talk, and everything is actually allowed to go forth on it. Anyway, that was just because I just wanted to commend you. But the main reason I was calling was also to hark on the wearing of face mask. I've been using my busy personal Facebook page to actually promote the uptake of the vaccine, but also saying that I think even with the uptake of our vaccine, we're going to have to face the music that perhaps face mask for our own protection might be something that will be a part of our clothing for the foreseeable future. I had a friend in Cuba this morning that I contacted. They say that the internet is down, but this person was in Isle of Pines, and I managed to send a WhatsApp, and they replied. Well, it was a Facebook Messenger, but he said that yesterday they had 9,000 new cases of COVID, and 80 people died. Now, of course, that's from COVID. I think some people are dying because of a protesting too, but this is about COVID. So, I mean, on a global scale, yes, over 3 billion people have taken the first shot, but only 1.2 or so, 1.1 billion have taken the 2 dosage, and that's out of a total population of 7.8 billion globally. But some of the countries that we trade with, in fact, 80% of our trade is with the U.S., and they're in a very bad position in terms of total uptake. I think we're going to be having to live with this deadly virus. I mean, it has killed over 4 million people globally, statistically, by Johns Hopkins. And I think we're going to have to be wearing face masks even when we have our own or 2 vaccines, because I think we're not going to be sure who has had it, because I don't think there's going to be any sort of red dot on people's forehead saying that I've taken my 2 shots. I think we're going to have to be very cautious, and then they have these different variants now, the Delta and the one that I think Mr. Borden had mentioned earlier, different ones that I think are much more contagious and much more deadly. And we're going to have to be very cautious. Yes, I think we have to open up, and I think the government has given a good timeline. But I think even with all of that, we're going to have to wear face masks, and that is something that I think must start to be encouraged, and perhaps it's going to have to be mandated, because it is a proven fact that the mask does allow a good protection against the contracting of this virus. But I've been using my own Facebook to kind of promote both the uptake and that. But I just want to call in to give you full support on putting some rules down about people calling in. They must have evidence as well.
Yes.
people shouldn't be calling in and saying stuff. And I think the host or the moderator should sometimes call people and say, okay, well, do you have, yes, you can continue, but can you support your argument with some little basic evidence now? Because otherwise, I think it really discounts the talk show and makes people really move on to another station. So with that, I want to wish you a pleasant good morning, and all the staff at Radio Cayman a pleasant good morning. All the people of Grand Cayman and this beautiful island a good morning, good health, good day. And I want to thank you for that, for just putting some little markers down as to what is acceptable in terms of a talk show.
Thank you. Thank you very much for that. We're going to take our last commercial break for the morning, folks. Please stay tuned. For the record, we'll be back shortly.
That thing we've been saying for 64 years, ignore it. Eat the KFC wings, drink the KFC gravy, fill up on fries. Just please forget the thing we normally suggest. You know, that thing you used to do with your tongue after finishing a delicious piece of our KFC chicken. We get it. It's not easy. There's a reason why it's been our slogan for over half a century. But the world's drastically changed of late, and as soon as we can embrace the change, the sooner we can all get back to doing what we do best. KFC. It's good.
What's that? No sugar, same amazing taste? Coca-Cola Zero Sugar is here to stay. Classic taste, pure satisfaction. Be sure to stop into any Tortuga location and get your own case of Coke Zero. Or grab an ice-cold one straight from the cooler. Brought to you by Tortuga Distributors Limited. Coca-Cola, taste the feeling, Cayman.
Make your house into a home. Welcome to Brand Source Home Gallery, your source for premium products and a premium experience. We'll design and install your dream kitchen with crafted cabinets, complemented with elegant appliances. We'll fill it with quality houseware and cookware. Custom designed closet and storage solutions organize and beautify any area. And with the finest bedding, you'll get a perfect night's sleep knowing Brand Source Home Gallery has everything you need to make your house a home.
Health City is now open at Camana Bay, offering a wide range of specialties at our state-of-the-art Camana Bay Clinic. We are here to help you save time and feel better. We are open weekdays, weekends, and evenings for your convenience and are dedicated to reducing your wait time while improving your health. Friendly staff, expert care, lab services, and diagnostics in one convenient location from the hospital you know and trust. Health City at Camana Bay, within your reach.
Do you know why vaping is considered toxic? Vaping devices work by turning liquids to vapor for users to inhale. Vaping liquids contain a variety of substances. Vaping can cause acute lung injury. People actually don't know what they're inhaling. There is really no regulatory oversight over who is making these liquids, where and how they're making these liquids, and what kind of components are present in these liquids. Ask questions. To learn more about vaping, contact the NDC at 949-9000 or check out our website at www.ndc.ky. This message was brought to you by the National Drug Council and Radio Cayman.
On Fridays, CI Retro Talk Today's presentation at 12:15 p.m. on Radio Cayman will chronicle the disappearance of the New Noko, a modern Cayman Islands ship of its era, which departed Cayman in July 1936 on a voyage to Tampa with 22 people on board and was never heard from or seen of since. Helping us to bring you this presentation, The Diner, located at 32 Town Hall Road, West Bay, 300 feet past the four-way stop on the right, offering taste-tested, great local dishes, a family-friendly environment, and all-day breakfast. The Diner.
For the record, with Ort Connor.
Initiating system.
For information that matters. For the record, with Ort Connor. Continues right now on Radio Cayman.
Good morning and welcome back to For the Record. We have another birthday greeting. Actually, this is a belated happy birthday greeting. Miss Lucille Douglas from North Side celebrated her 80th birthday on Friday. Miss Lucille used to work at CUC as well. So belated happy birthday to you, Miss Lucille, 80 years. Very, that's a good number. 80 is a good number, and I'm sure that you're going to be reaching for higher numbers as well. We want to wish you all the best, and all of those of you who celebrated a birthday either over the weekend or if you're celebrating one today, or if you'll be celebrating one before Wednesday. Like I said, folks, continue to share them, and we will give them a shout out on the radio. This is a good opportunity for you to let people know how you feel, and we will be more than happy to share those for you as well. Any callers, Miss Susan? No callers. If you're inclined to call in, you may want to do so within the next 2 or 3 minutes, as well, because we're running out of time, and of course we have to leave the air at 10 o'clock. Remember, this is also the year of the seaman. We're celebrating our seafarers in the Cayman Islands, and 1966, that would be what, 55 years ago, a vessel, one of the vessels that Caymanian seamen sailed on, the Julius H. Barnes, and I've heard the name of that vessel mentioned before. Julius H. Barnes visited the Cayman Islands, and it's photographed here in the Caymanian Compass. Shown above is the MV Julius H. Barnes, a vessel well known to Cayman, anchored at Georgetown Harbor while picking up additional crew. She's of Bahamian registry, 1,848 tons with a draft of 14 feet. Her master is Captain Felton S. Dixon of Bosun Bay, Grand Cayman, and she carries several other Caymanian crew as well. The Julius H. Barnes, here in the Cayman Islands in July of 1966, and that was carried in the Tradewinds newspaper of that particular date, the 28th of July 1966. I'll read you an editorial from that date as well. We'll share this with you. We always hear this expression, it's not my fault. It's not my fault. I was actually thinking about that the other day. I was reading articles about defensive driving and, what drivers should be doing on the roads when they're driving. And, of course, there was something that was developed in the insurance industry called no-fault insurance. That means that no fault was assigned as long as there was an accident. From an insurance standpoint, one insurance company just covers the other, and one wonders whether or not having policies like that contributed to people not being as careful as they should be, because at the end of the day they're saying, well, I have insurance, that's what I'm paying insurance for. So here's an editorial on no fault. It says, it's not my fault is an expression too often heard in these islands. It has been said, show me one who has never made a mistake, and I will show you a person who has never done anything. Whenever one is faced with making a decision or undertaking an activity, one must necessarily run the risk of making a mistake. Only he who is omnipotent, is free from error now, and the divine right of kings has proven false. Mature persons must realize this risk and take it and bear the responsibility for it, not try to escape with, quote unquote, it's not my fault. It is in the region of government that the danger of this escapist attitude is most obvious. Members are elected to the Legislative Assembly. They are not forced to run for an office. They undertake it voluntarily and, in fact, compete strenuously for elected office. The voters expect those they elect to undertake the responsibility of government and to accept it and the risk of errors, Certainly, elected members of all people should not answer criticism with, it's not my fault. If there is the suggestion of mistake, the shock answer is, it was the Executive Council or it was the administrator who is responsible and not me. If our elected representatives are not going to be or alert and effective watchdogs, quote unquote, to ensure that government is fair, honest, economic, and effective, then why do we bother to have elected representatives at all? Surely, the least the elected members can do if government action is questioned is to demand a public inquiry to find out where the responsibility lies, to be in a position to prevent its recurrence, not to just shrug it off as, quote unquote, it's not my fault. Unquestionably, the administrator, as the head of government, must bear the ultimate responsibility for all government actions. But does he ever act contrary to the express wishes of the Executive Council or the Assembly? If he does, we are all entitled to know about it and utilize the safeguards we have in that behalf, and we venture to believe that they are exceedingly effective as safeguards. Okay, I'm going to stop there because we have a caller who wants to comment on this about the Julius Caesar, not the Julius Caesar, the Julius Barnes. Caller, good morning. Welcome to For the Record. I'm getting all confused there. Welcome.
Yeah, good morning, O.C. Yeah, you're doing a good job as usual.
Thank you, thank you.
Yeah, well, I guess you know my voice.
Yep, won't call any names.
Well, I'm calling about the Julius H. Barnes.
Okay.
My dad was the chief engineer on that ship, Julius H. Barnes.
Okay. And you remember when she was he on the ship when he came when they came to Cayman?
They came in, yeah, they stopped in. Yeah, some of the ships that he were on used to stop in now and again. I remember us going out there and Mr. Sam Puck little canoe, he would carry us out, and then we had to climb the stairs there, and they used to say, "Be careful, be careful." Yeah.
Yes, that was good. And well, of course, whenever a ship was coming to Cayman, all of the Caymanian seamen would have all of their packages and stuff, whatever it is that they had, for family members. So I'm sure that was something that you looked forward to as well.
That is correct, and we sure did. And then all the West Bay people that were on board, that's how we knew Mr. Bartlett Ebanks' wife and his children, Rosemary and Nellie. Rosemary and Martha Lennox. They used to come up and we all go out there, and Ansel and them, because Mr. Bartlett was Ansel Anderson and them uncle. So we would all go out there, in the ship, and then we would get our goodies and come back. Of course, they weren't in long, just a few hours or so, but whenever they were passing. And Mr. Felton Dixon from Cayman Brac was the captain.
Yes.
Yeah, he was married to Rivers from West Bay, Miss Crystalline Rivers' daughter.
Okay.
Yeah. I think, but they migrated to Colombia, and I don't know what has happened to them. Mr. Felton could be passed by now, and if not, I know they're up there in the age.
This is good. This is good to know. It's always really nice to reminisce and talk about our history, especially our seafaring history as well. And I want to thank you very much for that. You have a great day. Say hello to everyone as well.
I will. Thanks, overseas. And
Thank you.
Have a good day, too.
Thank you very much. Folks, I want to thank you for allowing Radio Cayman and by extension For the Record into your homes, into your vehicles as you traverse the busy roads of the Cayman Islands, into your places of work, wherever that may be. I also want to thank the Honorable Wayne Panton, Premier of the Cayman Islands, for being on the show this morning to share his concerns, to talk about issues, to inform you of what's happening, as well. I want to thank him for that. I also want to remind you that we are our brothers and our sisters' keepers. There is always someone out there who's less fortunate than we are, and I ask you to extend a helping hand to them. If you can't do that, then I suggest you donate to a worthy charity, because we always want to consider those who need, not necessarily those who want or even those who crave. So I say to you, have a great day. Continue to support your radio station, Radio Cayman. Join Sterling Dwayne Banks at 12:15 for Talk today. And as usual, we ask the good Lord to bless these three beautiful, wonderful Cayman Islands.
For the Record is brought to you by Vamped Motors, the only authorized Ford and Toyota dealership serving the Cayman Islands. Coca-Cola, available across the Cayman Islands from Tortuga Distributors. Accept no substitutes. Taste the feeling with Coca-Cola. Brand Source Home Gallery, inspiring luxury. Caribbean Bakery, made Cayman fresh. Health City, now open at Camana Bay 7 days a week.
The Ministry of Commerce, Planning and Infrastructure, and by West Bay Pharmacy, taking care of your health.
Today's biggest news.
Radio Cayman. Your voice, your choice.
Local, regional, international. This is